Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Learn English 365 podcast. It's so nice to have you here today. I'm Eva, and in this episode, we have a very special guest, Dr. James. He's a doctor with many interesting stories and experiences to share. Hi, James, welcome.
Hi, Eva. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really happy to be here.
We're so happy to have you too. I think being a doctor is one of the most respected jobs in the world. Many people dream about becoming a doctor when they're children. Did you also have this dream when you were a kid?
Actually, yes, I did. When I was a little boy, I always wanted to help people. I remember when my younger sister fell off her bike and hurt her knee. I tried to clean her wound with water and a bandage. I felt like a little doctor back then.
That's adorable. So, that small moment made you think, maybe I want to be a doctor one day.
Exactly. I think it started from there. I was always curious about how the human body works. I loved reading simple science books about the heart, the brain, and the blood.
So, you were already interested in biology at a young age.
Yes, very much. My parents bought me a toy doctor kit when I was about 7 years old. It had a small stethoscope, a thermometer, and even fake medicine bottles. I used to play doctor with my family and neighbors all the time.
That's so cute. I think many children love playing doctor, but only a few grow up and actually become one.
True. I think what kept me going was curiosity and a strong desire to help people. I liked the idea that doctors can make a big difference in someone's life.
That's beautiful. When you were a child, did you imagine working in a big hospital or having your own clinic?
I imagined myself in a big hospital with many patients and nurses around. I used to draw pictures of hospitals when I was in primary school. My teacher once said, "James, maybe one day you'll really become a doctor." That sentence stayed in my mind for years.
Sometimes one simple sentence from a teacher can really change your life.
Yes, words can be very powerful.
Did you ever think of any other profession when you were young? Maybe a firefighter, pilot, or something else?
Hmm, maybe for a short time I wanted to be a pilot because I loved airplanes, but after watching a documentary about doctors saving lives, my heart was completely set on medicine.
Do you remember what it was like, that feeling when you decided, this is what I want to do?
Yes, it was excitement mixed with fear. I was excited to imagine myself helping people, but I was also afraid because I knew it's not easy. Doctors study a lot and work hard.
That's true, but it seems your passion was stronger than your fear.
Definitely. My parents always told me, if you love what you do, you'll never feel tired. That was my motivation.
That's such a good message. Many young people listening now might be thinking about their future jobs. What would you tell them about following their dreams?
I'd tell them, don't give up easily. If you really want something, work hard for it. Dreams don't come true in one day. It takes time, patience, and a lot of effort.
Yes, and sometimes people don't support your dream, right?
Oh yes, that's true. Even in my family, some people said, medicine is too hard, you'll be tired all the time. But I believed in myself, and I'm so glad I did.
I love that attitude. Believing in yourself is the first step to success.
Exactly. When I was in middle school, I studied very hard in science and math. I also joined the school's volunteer club. We visited hospitals and helped the nurses give food to patients. That experience really opened my eyes.
That must have been emotional.
Yes, it was. Seeing people in pain made me more determined to become a doctor.
I think that's a beautiful reason to choose a profession, not just for money, but to make a difference.
Yes, absolutely.
So, if we go back to your childhood again, what kind of kid were you? Curious, quiet, energetic?
I was curious and a bit shy. I liked reading and doing experiments at home. Once I tried to make medicine by mixing juice, salt, and water. My mom was not very happy about that.
Oh, I can imagine. So, you were already experimenting.
Yes, but safely. My mom made sure I didn't do anything dangerous.
That's good. So, when did you realize that you wanted to turn your childhood dream into a real career?
Probably in high school. That's when I took biology seriously. I started watching videos about surgery, learning first aid, and reading medical stories.
Did you have a role model, like a doctor you admired?
Yes, actually, there was a doctor in our neighborhood named Dr. Harris. He was kind, patient, and always smiling. I wanted to be like him.
Did you ever talk to him about your dream?
Yes. When I was 16, I told him that I wanted to be a doctor. He smiled and said, "Then study hard and never stop learning." Those words guided me through university.
That's really touching. It sounds like he played an important role in your journey.
He did. Sometimes the right person at the right time can inspire you for life.
So, little James with a toy stethoscope became Dr. James with a real one. That's amazing.
Yes, life came full circle.
Thank you for sharing these lovely childhood memories. I think many of our listeners will find inspiration in your story.
Thank you, Eva. I hope so too.
And for everyone listening, remember, you can learn English and life lessons together here on Learn English 365. James, you told us how your childhood dream began, and it was really inspiring. But I'm curious, how did your family react when you first said you wanted to be a doctor?
That's a good question. My parents were supportive, but they were also worried. My mother said, "James, being a doctor is a very hard job. You will have to study for many years." She wanted me to be happy, but she also knew it would be difficult.
That sounds like a mother's love. She wanted the best for you, but she didn't want you to struggle too much.
Exactly. My father was a teacher, and he always told me, "If you want to be a doctor, I'll help you study." He used to quiz me about science at the dinner table. It became a small family game. My father asking questions, my mother cooking, and me trying to answer everything correctly.
That's so nice. It sounds like your family turned your dream into a team project.
Yes, something like that. Even my younger sister helped me. She let me check her temperature with my toy thermometer and listened when I practiced explaining things.
She must have been your first patient.
She really was. And I remember my grandmother, too. She used to say, "Doctors are angels on earth." That sentence stayed with me.
Wow. Sometimes those words can stay in your heart forever.
Yes. And in high school, I started to notice that my parents were proud of my hard work. They didn't say it directly, but I could see it in their eyes.
That must have felt amazing to know they were proud of you.
It was the best feeling. I didn't want to disappoint them, so I studied harder.
You know, many listeners might be in the same situation. Maybe their parents want them to choose a safe job, but their hearts want something else. What would you tell them?
I'd say talk to your family honestly. Explain why that job makes you happy. Sometimes parents just want to make sure their children will have a good life. When they see your passion, they will understand.
That's true. Passion is contagious.
Yes, it is. My parents saw that medicine was not just a random idea for me. I was serious about it.
Did anyone in your family work in healthcare before you?
No, I was the first one. That's why some relatives were surprised. They said, "No one in our family is a doctor. Why do you want to be one?"
And what did you say?
I told them, "Maybe it's time for a doctor in our family."
That's a perfect answer.
Yes, they laughed too. But over time, they saw how serious I was. When I got good grades in biology and chemistry, they started to believe in me.
I think that's beautiful when your family's trust grows little by little.
Yes. And I was also lucky to have a few teachers who supported me.
Really? Tell me about them.
One of them was my biology teacher, Mrs. Collins. She was amazing. She had so much energy and she made science fun. She brought models of the heart, lungs, and brain to class and let us touch them.
That sounds so interesting.
It was. She once said, "If you understand how life works, you'll respect it more." That made me realize medicine isn't just about fixing people. It's about understanding life itself.
That's such a deep thought. Sometimes a teacher can change how you see the world.
Absolutely. And she was the first person who told me, You'd make a great doctor one day.
That must have meant a lot.
Yes, I still remember the day she said it. It gave me confidence.
Confidence is so important, especially at that age.
True. Many young people doubt themselves, but a kind word can make a big difference.
I agree. So your family gave you love and your teachers gave you inspiration. That's a great combination.
Yes, I think that's what built the foundation for my career.
Did you ever feel pressure to be perfect because of that support?
Sometimes. When people expect a lot from you, you don't want to make mistakes. But I learned that mistakes are part of learning.
That's a great message. No one becomes great without small failures.
Exactly. I failed a few science quizzes when I was younger, but instead of giving up, I studied harder.
That's the right attitude. I think many listeners will feel motivated by this.
I hope so. I want people to know that becoming a doctor or achieving any dream starts with small steps. Family and teachers can help, but you must also believe in yourself.
Well said. I think your story will touch many hearts.
Thank you, Eva. I'm really enjoying this conversation.
Me too, James. I feel like I'm learning not only about your journey, but also about the values behind it: patience, support, and determination.
That's right. Those 3 words describe my path perfectly.
Beautifully said. James, you mentioned your teachers and how they helped you find your passion. I'd love to hear more about your school years. What kind of student were you?
I think I was a quiet and focused student. I liked learning, especially science, but I wasn't always the best. I had to work hard to understand things.
That's actually a great message. Many people think successful students are naturally smart, but often they just work hard.
Yes, exactly. I wasn't the top of the class, but I was curious. I always asked why. Why does the heart beat faster? Why do we get sick? My teachers probably got tired of my questions.
I'm sure they loved it. Teachers like curious students.
I hope so. I remember one time in middle school, we had a science fair. I made a small model of the human lungs using plastic bottles and balloons.
Oh, that sounds fun. How did it work?
Well, when I pulled the bottom part, the balloons filled with air, like real lungs. Everyone loved it. My teacher even said, "James, maybe one day you'll save lives with those lungs."
That must have made you feel so proud.
Yes, I was really happy. It was one of the first times I felt confident about my dream.
Confidence builds slowly, doesn't it? One small success leads to another.
Exactly. After that, I started joining more science events and helping my classmates with homework. I liked explaining things, maybe because I wanted to make others love science too.
So you were like a mini teacher.
Maybe. I used to help my friends before exams. We would sit in the library and go over the topics together.
That's so nice. It shows you enjoyed teamwork even back then.
Yes, and teamwork is a big part of being a doctor too.
That's a great connection. So, did you always love every subject at school, or were there some that were more difficult?
Oh, math. Math was hard for me at first. I liked biology and chemistry, but math sometimes made me nervous.
Same for many people, I think. How did you manage?
I practiced a lot. My father helped me with formulas. Slowly, I got better. Later, I realized how important math is for medicine, especially when calculating doses or reading data.
That's true. Sometimes we don't see why a subject matters until we use it in real life.
Yes, that's so true.
Did you have any funny or embarrassing moments at school that you still remember?
Oh, yes. One time in high school, I mixed the wrong chemicals during a lab experiment. The mixture started smoking, and everyone ran out of the room.
Oh no, what happened next?
The teacher wasn't angry. She laughed and said, "Congratulations, Dr. James. You just discovered how not to do an experiment."
That's a great teacher.
Yes, she had a good sense of humor.
After that, I always double-checked everything before mixing.
That's how real scientists learn, through mistakes.
Exactly. And I think those experiences taught me patience. Science takes time. You can't rush it.
Did your friends at school know you wanted to be a doctor?
Oh, yes, everyone knew. They used to call me Dr. James even before I graduated.
That's adorable. Did they ever ask you for medical advice?
Yes, when someone had a small cut or headache, they'd say, Dr. James, what should I do? I'd usually tell them to drink water or go to the nurse.
You were already practicing your bedside manners.
I guess so. But seriously, I think helping my friends made me realize that medicine is also about communication. Listening to people is just as important as treating them.
That's such a valuable lesson. Many people think being a doctor is only about knowledge, but empathy is a big part too.
Yes, you can learn medicine from books, but you can't learn kindness from them. You learn it from experience.
Well said.
Yes. My school years were full of small moments like that. Some funny, some serious, but all of them helped me grow.
Did you ever have doubts back then? Like, maybe I'm not good enough to be a doctor?
Yes, many times, especially when exams were difficult. But my teachers always reminded me, don't give up, you're improving. That encouragement helped me a lot.
Encouragement really matters. Sometimes a few kind words can change your direction completely.
Exactly. That's why I always tell my students now, yes, I sometimes teach medical interns, that it's okay to fail, but it's not okay to stop trying.
That's a powerful message. You sound like you really care about guiding others.
I do. Maybe it's my way of giving back what my teachers gave me.
That's beautiful. It's like a circle. Inspiration continues from one generation to another.
Yes, exactly. I think school is not just about learning facts. It's about building who you are.
That's such a wonderful way to say it, James.
Thank you, Eva.
Listening to your school stories makes me remember my own teachers and friends. It's nice how education shapes our lives.
Yes, we don't realize it at the time, but those years are so important.
I agree. And I think your story will remind our listeners to be thankful for their teachers and for every small learning moment.
I hope so.
Thank you for sharing these memories, James.
My pleasure, Eva.
So, James, you've told us about your school life, your teachers, and how your dreams started to grow. I'm really curious now. What was it like when you finally became a doctor?
Oh, Eva, that was such an emotional time. I still remember my first day at the hospital. I was nervous, excited, and a little scared at the same time.
I can imagine. The first day of any job feels huge, but being a doctor must be even more intense.
Yes, it was. I woke up at 5 a.m., put on my new white coat, and looked in the mirror. For a few seconds, I just stood there thinking, wow, this is real. I'm finally a doctor.
That must have felt amazing, like a dream coming true.
It really did. But then reality came quickly. I had to hurry to the hospital and join the morning meeting with senior doctors. They talked fast, used many medical terms, and I tried hard to understand everything.
That sounds stressful.
It was. I was afraid of making mistakes. During my first week, I wrote down everything in a small notebook, patient names, instructions, medicine names, just to make sure I didn't forget anything.
That's smart. I think every beginner feels that pressure.
Yes, and it's normal. The first patient I met was an old man with heart problems. I remember how kindly he looked at me and said, "Doctor, will I be okay?" His question touched me deeply.
Oh, that must have been emotional.
It was. I realized in that moment that being a doctor is not only about knowledge, it's also about comfort and care. I didn't have all the answers yet, but I listened, smiled, and said, "We'll do our best to help you."
That's beautiful. Sometimes people just need hope and kindness.
Exactly. After that day, I promised myself to always treat my patients with empathy.
That's something all professionals can learn from. Kindness can make a huge difference.
Yes, but not everything went perfectly. My first week was full of small mistakes. Once I accidentally wore my mask upside down the whole morning. My colleagues laughed so hard.
Oh no, at least it made everyone smile.
Yes, it did. Those little moments made the long hours more bearable.
So your first steps were full of learning, stress, but also laughter.
Exactly. Looking back, I wouldn't change anything. Those experiences built my confidence.
It's interesting how challenges can shape us more than easy times.
Very true. Every difficult shift, every sleepless night, they all taught me something valuable.
What was the most important lesson you learned during that first year?
I learned that medicine is not about being perfect. It's about caring. Patients don't remember your grades. They remember your kindness.
That's such a beautiful thought, James.
Thank you, Eva. I still believe that today.
I think your words will inspire many people listening, not only future doctors, but anyone who wants to make a difference.
I hope so. That's what life is about. Helping others, learning, and growing every day.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
James, you've told us about your first steps as a doctor. Now, I'm really curious. What does a normal day in your job look like?
That's a great question, Eva. Every day is a little different, but I can tell you how a typical day usually goes. My day starts early, around 6 a.m. I like to wake up before the city gets busy.
That's quite early.
Yes, it is. I take a quick shower, eat a light breakfast, usually oatmeal and coffee, and then drive to the hospital. I start seeing patients around 7:30 or 8 a.m.
So the hospital must already be full of people at that time.
Oh yes, hospitals never sleep. When I arrive, nurses are already checking patients' vitals, and other doctors are reviewing reports. We usually have a short meeting in the morning to discuss our patients.
Like a team briefing?
Exactly. We share updates, make plans, and decide which cases need more attention. After that, I go to my department and start visiting my patients one by one.
How many patients do you see in a day?
It depends, but usually between 15 and 25. Some need a quick checkup, while others require more time and care.
That sounds like a lot of people to take care of in one day.
It is, but it becomes easier with experience. I try to give every patient my full attention, even if it's just for 5 minutes. I always look them in the eyes, listen carefully, and speak clearly.
That's so important. People can feel when a doctor truly listens.
Yes. Sometimes even before examining them, I can tell a lot by just talking to them. Their face, voice, and emotions say so much.
That's interesting. It shows how much communication is part of medicine.
Absolutely. After morning rounds, I usually go to my office to write patient notes or check lab results. Then I meet with new patients who come for appointments.
Do you have lunch at the hospital?
Most of the time, yes. Sometimes I don't even realize it's lunchtime until a nurse reminds me. When I finally eat, it's usually something quick like soup or a sandwich.
It sounds like your days are very busy.
They are, but they're also beautiful moments. For example, when a patient who was very sick starts feeling better and says, "Thank you, doctor." That's priceless.
I can imagine how rewarding that must feel.
It really is. One patient once gave me a small thank you card after recovering from surgery. It said, "You didn't just heal my body, you healed my heart." I still keep that card in my drawer.
That's so sweet. Moments like that must give you motivation.
Yes, they do. Medicine can be exhausting, but those moments remind you why it's worth it.
What happens after lunch? Do you continue seeing patients?
Yes, usually I have a few more appointments, sometimes follow-ups from previous cases. Then around 4 p.m., we often have short discussions or training sessions with younger doctors.
So you also mentor new doctors?
Yes, I enjoy it. I like helping them grow and feel confident. They remind me of myself years ago.
That's wonderful. I think sharing experience is one of the best ways to learn.
I agree. Around 5 or 6 p.m., my day usually ends. But sometimes, if there's an emergency, I stay longer.
That must be tiring, but also fulfilling.
It is. There are long hours, but I've learned to balance it. When I drive home after a long day, I feel proud, even if I'm exhausted.
What do you do to relax after such a busy day?
I like to take a walk or listen to calm music. Sometimes I cook dinner with my wife. It helps me clear my mind and recharge for the next day.
That sounds healthy. I think doctors especially need to take care of themselves too.
Exactly. You can't help others if you're not well yourself.
That's true for everyone, not just doctors.
Yes, it's something people often forget.
What's your favorite part of your daily routine?
My favorite part is the morning visit to patients. It's when they smile and say, "Good morning, doctor." It feels like a positive start to the day.
That's beautiful. And the hardest part?
The hardest part is when I have to deliver bad news, like when treatment doesn't work as we hoped. It's never easy.
I can imagine. That takes a lot of emotional strength.
Yes, but over time I've learned to balance emotion with professionalism. I can't change everything, but I can always be kind.
That's such a powerful lesson.
Thank you, Eva. At the end of each day, I remind myself that even small acts, a smile, a kind word, can make a big difference in someone's life.
That's a wonderful way to see your job.
It keeps me motivated. Medicine isn't just work. It's a calling.
I love that word, calling. It means you do it from the heart, not just for money.
Exactly. And that's what keeps me going every single day.
I think our listeners can really feel your passion, James. Thank you for taking us through a day in your life.
My pleasure, Eva. I'm happy to share it.
James, I'm sure every job has its challenges, but being a doctor must be full of both serious and funny moments. Can you tell us about some of them?
Oh, absolutely, Eva. There are many challenges, but also many times that make you smile. Let's start with the challenges first.
Sure, go ahead.
The biggest challenge for any doctor is dealing with stress. There are days when everything happens at once. Emergencies, paperwork, calls, and patients waiting. Sometimes it feels like there are not enough hours in a day.
That sounds exhausting. How do you manage that kind of stress?
It took me years to learn. At first, I tried to do everything by myself, but then I realized teamwork is essential. Nurses, assistants, and other doctors, we all depend on each other.
That's a really good point. No one can do everything alone.
Exactly. Another challenge is emotional pressure. Some days you lose a patient, and that hurts deeply. You can't help but think about them when you go home.
That must be incredibly difficult. How do you deal with that sadness?
I talk to my colleagues. We support each other. And I remind myself that we do our best, but we can't control everything. Medicine saves many lives, but not all.
That's a mature and wise way to look at it.
Thank you. And now about funny moments, because, luckily, there are many.
I'm ready to hear them.
One time, a little boy came to my office with his mother. He had a small cut on his hand. When I tried to clean it, he shouted, "Doctor, please don't take my hand away."
Oh no, poor boy.
Yes, he was so scared. I told him, "Don't worry, I'm not a magician. I can't make hands disappear." He started laughing, and then everything was fine.
That's adorable. Kids can be so funny in hospitals.
They really are. Another time, an elderly patient told me, "Doctor, I feel much better after your medicine, but my cat ate one pill. Now she sleeps all day. Should I bring her to you?"
Oh my goodness. Did that really happen?
Yes. I told her,
I'm a doctor for people, not for cats, but maybe the cat just wants to rest. We both laughed so hard.
That's hilarious. It must be nice to have moments like that in such a serious environment.
It's so important, Eva. Laughter helps everyone, doctors, nurses, and patients. It lightens the mood.
Definitely. Did you ever have a funny situation with your colleagues?
Oh, yes, many times. One day, I entered the wrong room and started talking to a patient about a surgery, but it turned out she was there just for a blood test.
Oh no, what did she say?
She looked at me with big eyes and said, "Surgery? I just came for a checkup." I apologized immediately, and we both laughed for minutes.
That must have been embarrassing, but also funny.
Very. Mistakes like that happen when the hospital is very busy, but laughter makes them easier to forget.
I can imagine.
There was also a time when I accidentally wore two different shoes to work.
No way.
Yes, one black and one brown. I didn't even notice until lunch. My colleagues called me Dr. Fashion for a week.
That's priceless.
Yes, we all need some humor in our lives. It keeps us human.
That's so true. It sounds like you really value positive energy in your workplace.
Absolutely. In a hospital, things can be intense, but a small joke, a smile, or even a friendly good morning can make a big difference.
I think that's one reason your patients trust you. You make them feel comfortable.
I try my best. People often say, "You must be very strong to be a doctor." But the truth is, doctors are humans too. We laugh, we cry, and we learn every day.
I love that honesty. Sometimes people forget doctors have feelings as well.
Yes, we do. And we need to take care of our own mental health too. I encourage young doctors to talk, share their emotions, and never keep things bottled up.
That's great advice.
Thank you. I believe humor and empathy are both forms of healing. When a patient smiles, even for a second, that's already medicine.
That's such a beautiful thought, James.
Thanks, Eva. You know, every day brings something new. Sometimes tears, sometimes laughter, but always a reason to keep going.
I think that balance is what makes your story so inspiring. Life isn't only about success, but also about staying kind and positive through challenges.
Exactly. That's the heart of being a doctor. And maybe of being human, too.
Well said, James. Thank you for sharing both the serious and funny sides of your profession.
My pleasure, Eva. I hope it reminds people that even in the hardest jobs, there's always room for laughter.
James, after hearing all your stories, the good, the hard, and the funny, I have to ask you something important. Why do you love your job so much?
That's a beautiful question, Eva. I think I love my job because it gives me purpose. Every morning when I wake up, I know I'm doing something meaningful.
That's such a nice way to put it. You feel like what you do really matters.
Exactly. Medicine is not just a job for me, it's a calling. When I help someone recover or even make them smile during a hard time, I feel complete.
That's powerful. Helping others must bring a deep kind of happiness.
Yes, it does. Of course, it's not always easy. There are long nights, tired days, and moments when you question yourself. But then a patient says, "Thank you," or a family smiles at you, and suddenly everything feels worth it.
I can imagine that feeling. It's like all your hard work turns into something beautiful.
Exactly. I also love how medicine allows me to learn every single day. The human body is so complex, there's always something new to discover.
So, your job keeps you curious?
Yes, I've been a doctor for many years, but I still feel like a student sometimes. I love reading new studies, learning new techniques, and talking to younger doctors who bring fresh ideas.
That's wonderful. It shows you truly have passion for your work.
Thank you. And another reason I love my job is the people. Every patient teaches me something about life, courage, or even gratitude.
That's interesting. Can you give an example?
Sure, I once had a patient who was very sick, but always smiled. One day I asked, "How do you stay so positive?" She said, "Because I'm still alive, and that's something to celebrate." That moment changed me.
Wow, that's really inspiring.
It reminded me that being alive, being able to breathe, talk, and love, these are miracles we often forget.
You sound like you don't just treat the body, but also the spirit.
That's true. Medicine, to me, is both science and heart. You need knowledge, but you also need compassion.
I love that. It's like the balance between the brain and the heart.
Exactly. Some people think being a doctor is only about tests and numbers, but it's really about stories, people stories. Each patient has one, and I feel honored to be part of it.
That's such a beautiful perspective.
Thank you, Eva. Sometimes when I walk through the hospital and see people smiling, laughing, or getting better, I realize how lucky I am to witness those moments.
It sounds like gratitude plays a big role in your love for your job.
Definitely. Gratitude keeps me grounded. When I see what people go through, accidents, illnesses, pain, I go home and feel thankful for simple things: health, family, and peace.
That's a great reminder for all of us.
Yes, I think medicine has taught me more about life than any book could.
That's so true. Sometimes real experiences are the best teachers.
Exactly. I've learned that small acts can have big impacts. A kind word can ease someone's pain more than medicine sometimes can.
That's something everyone can practice, not just doctors.
Yes, kindness is free, and it works faster than any pill.
That's so funny, but also true.
Yes, I also love how my job connects me with people from all walks of life. Children, elderly people, rich, poor, everyone. It reminds me that we're all equal when it comes to health.
That's such a deep point. Health really connects us as humans.
Exactly. You see people at their most honest moments, scared, hopeful, grateful, and you realize what truly matters.
What do you think that is? What truly matters?
Love, time, and compassion. When people are sick, they don't talk about money or success. They talk about family, memories, and the people they love. That's what life is about.
That's beautiful, James. It sounds like your work gives you wisdom about life itself.
It does. Sometimes patients teach me more about life than any university ever could.
That's something really special.
Yes, that's why even when I'm tired, I never regret choosing this path. Medicine has given me a purpose to serve, to care, and to keep learning.
That's so inspiring. I think our listeners can feel your passion through every word.
Thank you, Eva. I just hope it encourages others to find what they love too, because when you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like life.
That's the perfect message. Thank you for sharing your heart with us, James.
My pleasure, Eva.
James, you've shared so many stories and thoughts about your career. I'm sure many young people are listening right now, maybe thinking about their own futures. What advice would you give them?
That's a great question, Eva. I always tell young people, follow your curiosity, not just money. When you choose a job, think about what makes you excited to wake up in the morning.
That's so true. Passion is what keeps you going, especially when things get hard.
Exactly. If you do something only for money or fame, you'll get tired very quickly. But if you love what you do, even difficult days become meaningful.
That's a wonderful message. Did you always follow that idea yourself?
Yes, I tried to. Of course, I had fears. When I decided to study medicine, I knew it would be long and hard. But I loved helping people, and that gave me strength to keep going.
So your advice is to choose something that feels right in the heart, not just on paper.
Exactly. And another thing, don't be afraid of failure. Every successful person has failed many times. The important thing is to stand up again each time.
I love that. Sometimes people think failure means they're not good enough, but it's really part of learning.
Yes, it's part of the journey. I failed exams, I made mistakes, I felt lost sometimes, but I never gave up. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to keep moving forward.
That's very encouraging. Many young people feel pressure to be perfect all the time.
I understand that feeling. Society often tells us that we must succeed fast. But life is not a race, it's a marathon. It's okay to go slowly, as long as you don't stop.
That's such a healthy way to think.
Thank you. I also think it's important to find good mentors, people who inspire you, guide you, and believe in you.
Like your teachers did for you when you were younger.
Exactly. I'll never forget Mrs. Collins, my biology teacher. She saw potential in me before I saw it myself. Sometimes all we need is one person to say, you can do it.
That's true. Support makes a huge difference.
Yes. And if you can't find that support, become it for someone else. Be the person who believes in others.
That's beautiful. So your advice isn't just about career, it's also about kindness and helping others.
Definitely. Life feels richer when we lift each other up. Success is not only about personal goals, it's also about what we give to the world.
I really like that. What would you tell a young person who feels lost and doesn't know what to do yet?
I'd say that's okay. It's normal not to know right away. Explore different things, try new hobbies, volunteer, meet people. Step by step, you'll find what makes your eyes light up.
That's comforting to hear. Sometimes young people think they have to have everything figured out by 18 or 20.
Yes, but life doesn't work that way. Some people find their path later, and that's perfectly fine. What matters is never losing curiosity.
I agree. Curiosity keeps life exciting.
Exactly. And don't compare yourself to others. Everyone has their own timeline. What's important is doing your best with what you have.
That's true. Social media sometimes makes people feel like they're behind, but everyone's story is different.
Very true, Eva. What we see online is just a small part of the story. Real life takes patience and hard work.
So, in short, your message to young people is be patient, be kind, and follow your heart.
Yes, that sums it up perfectly. And I'd add one more thing. Take care of your health, both body and mind. You can't build your dreams if you're not well.
That's such good advice. Health really is the foundation of everything.
Absolutely. I've seen young people push themselves too hard and forget to rest. But balance is important. Work hard, but also enjoy life.
That's a great reminder.
And remember, success isn't only about big achievements. It's also about small victories, finishing a project, helping a friend, learning something new.
I love that. Every step counts.
Exactly. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Start where you are with what you have.
That's powerful.
Thank you. I truly believe that if you stay curious, kind, and determined, life will open the right doors for you.
That's beautiful advice, James. I think our young listeners will really appreciate your words.
I hope so. I want them to believe that their dreams are possible, because they are.
Perfectly said. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and warmth today.
Thank you, Eva. It's been wonderful talking about something so close to my heart.
James, you've shared so much about your past, your childhood dreams, your school days, and your journey as a doctor. Now I'd like to talk about the future. What do you see ahead for yourself and for medicine?
That's a great question, Eva. The future of medicine is both exciting and challenging. Technology is changing everything, from how we diagnose diseases to how we treat patients.
That's true. I've heard about robots assisting in surgeries and even AI helping with medical research.
Exactly. When I started my career, many of those things were just ideas. Now they're real. We can use machines to detect illnesses faster, and computers can help us understand complex medical data.
That must make your job easier in some ways.
It does, but it also brings new responsibilities. Technology is powerful, but it can never replace the human touch. Patients still need care, empathy, and understanding, and that will never change.
That's a beautiful point. So you believe the heart of medicine will always stay human.
Yes, 100%. Machines can help us, but healing is something humans do best.
I like that. What about you personally, James? What goals or dreams do you still have for the future?
I'd like to focus more on teaching. I love sharing my experience with young doctors and students. I want to help them not only learn medicine, but also understand the human side of it.
That's wonderful. So you want to pass the torch to the next generation.
Exactly. I believe knowledge should be shared. When we teach others, we also keep learning ourselves.
That's so true. Teaching really is a two-way process.
Yes, and I also want to spend more time doing medical volunteering. There are still so many people around the world who don't have access to proper health care. I'd love to help in small ways, maybe through medical missions or training local staff.
That's incredible. It shows how deeply you care about your profession and humanity.
Thank you, Eva. I think every doctor feels that responsibility to use their knowledge to make the world a bit better.
And you've definitely done that already. But it's amazing that you still want to keep going and giving more.
Medicine is a journey that never ends. You're always growing, always discovering something new.
That's inspiring. What do you think the next 20 years will look like for doctors and patients?
I think we'll see more personalized medicine, treatments made just for each person's unique body. We'll also see more focus on prevention, not just treatment.
So, helping people stay healthy before they get sick.
Exactly. I believe the future of healthcare will be about education, teaching people how to live healthier lives.
That sounds like a very positive direction.
Yes. I also hope that as technology grows, empathy grows too. Sometimes, with screens and devices everywhere, people forget the power of human connection.
That's a very good reminder. We should never lose that connection.
Yes, because healing starts with trust. No machine can create trust, only people can.
So true. Do you think younger generations are ready for the future of medicine?
I think they are. They're smart, creative, and very comfortable with technology. But I also want them to remember to keep their hearts open. Science without compassion is like a body without a soul.
Wow, that's such a powerful sentence.
Thank you. It's something I truly believe.
What about your personal life in the future? Do you plan to slow down or keep working full-time?
I don't think I can ever stop completely, but yes, maybe a slower pace. I'd like to spend more time with my family, travel, and enjoy simple things. Cooking, reading, maybe gardening.
That sounds lovely. You deserve it after so many years of hard work.
Thank you, Eva. I think balance is important at every stage of life. I want to enjoy both my career and my personal time.
That's a great example for everyone listening.
I hope so. I want people to know that success isn't just about titles or achievements. It's also about peace of mind and happiness.
That's such a meaningful message.
Thank you. And as I look to the future, I feel grateful. I've learned so much, and I'm still excited about what's coming next.
That's amazing. It's great to see that you still have the same passion you had as a child.
Yes, maybe even more.
The more I learn, the more I realize how wonderful life is and how much there still is to discover.
That's beautiful, James. You're truly an inspiration.
Thank you, Eva. I just hope that the next generation of doctors and everyone listening continues to work with love, curiosity, and kindness. That's the best future we can build.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you for sharing your hopes and dreams with us.
My pleasure, Eva.
James, it's been such a meaningful journey talking with you through all these episodes. We've laughed, learned, and shared so many inspiring moments. How do you feel now, looking back on everything we've talked about?
Honestly, Eva, I feel grateful. These conversations reminded me why I became a doctor in the first place. To help, to learn, and to grow as a person.
That's wonderful. You've shared so many stories, from your first day at the hospital to your dreams for the future. I think our listeners have learned a lot from you.
I hope so. If someone listening today feels more confident or inspired to follow their dreams, then that's the best reward for me.
That's beautiful. What would you say is the biggest lesson you've learned in your life as a doctor?
I've learned that healing isn't just about medicine. It's about kindness, patience, and understanding. Sometimes a smile can help more than a pill.
I love that. It's so simple, but so powerful.
Yes, I think people remember how you made them feel more than what you said. That's true for doctors, teachers, and everyone, really.
That's a great message to end with. You've shown us that being a doctor is not only about treating patients, it's about connecting with people and making a difference.
Exactly. Every day I learn something new about life, about people, and about myself. Medicine has made me humble. It reminds me that every human life is precious.
That's so touching, James. Before we finish, would you like to say a few words to our listeners? Maybe a final thought or advice?
Sure, I'd like to say, no matter what job you do it with love. Be kind, be curious, and never stop learning. Life is short, but the good we do lasts much longer than we think.
That's such a beautiful way to put it. Thank you, James, for sharing your wisdom, your humor, and your heart with us.
Thank you, Eva. It's been a joy talking with you. And I'd also like to thank everyone listening to Learn English 365. I hope these conversations help you not only improve your English, but also inspire you to follow your own dreams.
Perfectly said. And yes, to our listeners, remember, learning English is a journey. Keep listening, keep practicing, and believe in yourself.
Absolutely. Every small step matters.
And with that, we'll wrap up today's episode. Thank you again, James.
Thank you, Eva. Take care, everyone.